Hi everybody, Andre. Welcome to my YouTube channel and my series How I Made It, where I interview Cape Town entrepreneurs who have transitioned from having a full-time job to being full-time in their business. My guest this morning is my long-time brother, Jp Marais. He's founded quite a few companies. He's the founder of Xpres. He's also the author of a book called Then I Got the Deal. He's currently working on two projects. One is Bosslife apparel. Okay, and I'll let you guys, or I'll let JP tell you a bit more about that or later on in the show. So yeah, JP, thank you very much for taking the time out. We are actually at a studio. JP just interviewed me at, we are at Elgin FM in Grabo. JP does, he has a slot here between 10 and 12 every Monday, where he talks about, the show's called Motivation Monday, right?
That's correct, Motivation Mondays.
Where he just gives some, inspiration and motivation to the listeners to get them, motivated and to pursue their dreams. Okay, he also does take the show and he uses the show as a platform to cover the 6 steps.
That's
in his book, Then I Got the Deal. Okay, without any further ado, JP, tell us about a time when you had a full-time job, right? And how long did you want to be an entrepreneur for? And how long did it actually take you to make the transition?
Well, in all honesty, you know me, and just for your viewers out there, at a very young age already, I knew that I was not going to be employed by a boss for my entire life, basically. I ended up finishing off school. I did a couple of short courses after school, but I had started working at a young age. I was 14 years old. My father passed on, and I felt the need to obviously go out and earn my own income. So at the age of 14, I was already working in a retail industry as a casual, and that was on a weekly basis, a weekend basis, up until I ended my school career and I became a full-time worker in the retail industry. So that took me good on 3 or 4 years in the retail industry, and through that process it was obviously a schooling for me. I learned a lot, and then I moved through the phases of being employed by other self-employed businesses or privately owned businesses, and from there on I learned a lot, because you see how businesses are managed, how things grow, and the negatives and positives. So in that process, I really got the understanding of wanting to start up my own thing. The biggest gap came when I left. I went overseas. I did some work in Canada, abroad for about 6-7 months, and then I came back, because obviously you need capital to start up a business. I used that platform to go and make some money, and then came back not knowing what I was going to do or what I was going to start up with, but with a full drive and passion of not working for someone for the rest of my life. And from there on, it spiraled into obviously creating my own businesses.
So you just mentioned now, the next question was what was the turning point? So the turning point for you, I assume, would be that you just decided you didn't want to work for someone else.
That's correct. Yeah, I was young. Obviously, from working from 14 years up until the age of 22, 23 when I left, was a good 6-7 years or 8 years of working without actually stopping, to realize that you have this desire, this burning inclination inside of you to actually get to where you want to be. And that turning point came when I actually left.
Nice. So who do you role model and why?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I do have a social media role model, or a media role model, which is Gary Vaynerchuk, and I've obviously learned a lot from him. But I use my surrounding friends and family as role models. Like you yourself, very good friend of mine, a brother of mine, and I use you as a sounding board many times. I use you as inspiration many times. And there are also other people which I look to on social media, but I think the biggest one which I strive to follow and look towards is Gary Vaynerchuk for inspiration. And then, like I said, my close network of friends and family to keep inspiring me and motivating me. So I'm actually quite lucky in that sense.
Okay, cool. Do you have a morning ritual
A morning ritual. One of the biggest things, and it might sound weird, is or not weird, is I get up. I praise the Lord. I thank the Lord for the day, for the blessings which I have. I'm quite lucky in that sense that I'm healthy, I'm fit, I'm able to go out and do what I want to do.
Yeah.
So I start off my morning like that, and then I get into the swing of things. So I'll check my social media platforms, I'll go through the processes, and then I'll start motivating. So I'll build up content, and then I'll start posting my social media, and then I'll get into the swing of things with my businesses.
Okay. We spoke about Gary Vaynerchuk and social media. What is your favorite social media platform and why?
At the moment, I love using Facebook, obviously because it's got a very wide reach with regards to my type of business, and I can use it on all my businesses. So I use that to promote and to obviously market my business and then take things forward. I do use the other ones, which is Instagram and Twitter as well. But as we know, within South Africa and the way things are going, data is quite expensive. So hashtag data must fall. So I try and use all social media platforms, but the biggest one which I'm obviously on is Facebook.
Okay. What value do you think social media brings to young entrepreneurs just starting out?
I think what we didn't have at my young age, look, we in the generation where technology and social media has taken the world by storm, and we are still young enough to be able to use that, but we didn't really have that starting out. So the youngsters of today have all of this at their fingertips to actually take them to the next level a lot quicker than what we were able to. So they've got the capability at their fingertips to take them from nothing to something within the blink of an eye. If you post something on Facebook, the world sees it. So be it negative or positive, you are going to make a mark on the social media world.
That's true. Yeah, it kind of does put us on level playing field with some of the bigger guys.
It does. It does.
Yeah, no, for sure. Okay. What was your biggest mistake as an entrepreneur?
Sure. My biggest mistake would probably have been procrastination. I think in the sense that I waited too long to actually do things. What they say is first to market nowadays is actually the ones that's going to receive the business, no matter how big or small it is. And I think I waited too long because I feared many things. So my mistake in procrastination was the actual fear of not knowing what the next step was going to be. And it's one of the things that you learn going forward is that you really need to understand what you're wanting to do and then implement it.
Okay, cool. I think with procrastination, would you agree that, because we've often waited, I always waited a while. I remember when I thought back how I said that I'm waiting for the right time, and I realize now that the time will almost never be right. I mean, obviously you need to do your due diligence, there's work you need to do, because you don't just jump in and start without doing proper research. But I mean, generally speaking, would you agree that the timing is hardly ever just right?
I agree, full-hearted and 100% with that, is that if we continue to wait, the timing will never be right. And what I've learned now is do what you need to do now. Don't wait until tomorrow, because tomorrow's it's not given. There's no promise that you will actually have it tomorrow.
Execution, guys. Okay. Have you ever thought of quitting?
I have, and in some instances it does hit you on a daily basis, but you get to that point where you realize that if I quit now, I've thrown away the last 10 years of my life with regards to building business. I'm 33 now, so looking close on 18 years of my life to get me to this point, to go and throw it away now, it comes back to why did I start? My biggest thing is why I started doing anything with regards to my own business. So I won't go and throw that away. I always come back to why I started.
Jp, how do you stay motivated?
Like I just said to you, on a day in and day out scenario, I would find myself asking the question, why? Why did I start doing what I'm doing? Why did I build the business the way that I built it? And the biggest thing for me is I've always wanted time. I've always wanted freedom. I've always wanted the ability to do what I want to do when I want to do it. So starting my own business was so that I have that and not have to report to a boss. Coming back to starting my own business, but it's the why. So for me, that's what keeps me motivated. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing.
And you think of your why when you go through difficult times?
Obviously I do. It keeps me motivated, it keeps me inspired, it picks me up when I'm down. My biggest why is that I don't have kids of my own yet. I'm not married yet. But my biggest why is that I knew the struggle that my parents went through to make things or make ends meet with regards to time. They worked full-time jobs, they had their own businesses and things going, and they didn't have the time to focus on us as kids. I don't want that for my kids. I want the availability of time so that I can pick them up from school, I can support them in their sporting activities, I can be the person that I really didn't have growing up. But for me, that's my biggest drive. It's the time, the availability of that time to myself.
Awesome. How do you deal with challenges and adversity? Because obviously having your own business, we both know almost, every week we have a problem.
That's one of the things that you need to learn along the way. Nobody's really prepared for challenges and adversity within business unless you are somebody that's obviously a consultant to a business, because then you are prepared for whatever problems might come the business way. But being the entrepreneur or the business owner, it's sometimes difficult. And for me personally, I deal with staffing issues, I deal with vehicle breakdowns, I deal with all those type of things. And the only way that you are prepared for it is obviously having gone through it. So I've been through the process. I know what it's like to lose a vehicle along the road. I know what it's like to have staffing issues. I know what it's like to have a failing business and to then make it grow again. So to deal with it, as you've asked, is you need to go through it. You need to go through the process, but you need to remain motivated. You need to remain steadfast in your mission and your vision of the business, because that's what's going to carry you through.
Cool. How did you deal with criticism or people, who maybe made fun of you or who didn't think that you'd necessarily make it?
That's also a good one, in the sense that you need to become like a duck. So, and I say that because it literally needs to be water off your back. If you are focused on what you want to achieve and you are really driven by your passion, whatever other people think or say about you or about your business, it's not your business. That's their issue, it's their problem. So it becomes water off your back at the end of the day. It is difficult in the beginning because you tend to feel yourself thinking about other people's opinion and what they say or think about you. But as a business owner and as an entrepreneur, you learn that it means absolutely nothing.
Okay. Don't take it personally, guys. Okay. I also know about how you deal with adversity and challenges, so this next question pretty much ties into that. What kind of mindset do you think aspiring entrepreneurs need to have?
I would say aspiring entrepreneurs need to have a mindset where they are self-driven, they are self-aware, they are confident, but also they are coachable.